So welcome to Friday Focus, February 19th, 2016. I'm going to go over a few things that we've been talking about this week and to kind of go over the why. So we've been pretty busy. All the offices have. I've visited Warren this past week and found out that they actually had more patients than they had rooms set up to accommodate them, so we're fixing that. In Shelby Township last night, I went down to surgery to check on something. There's a couple of HRT patients and derm patients in the recovery room, so we need to work on utilizing our physical plant more effectively, free up some space because we're going to grow. That's the plan. And it definitely has been busy. We've had a busy January and February. January, our new patients were up 38%, and February is shaping up to be up more like 70%, maybe even double where we were last year, which is pretty substantial growth. That's exciting. We're growing and more volume. I'm going to tell you the thing that you have to be prepared for. If we look at January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December, this is how our business grows. So we start out January, February, it picks up March, April, May, June, July, gets steady, then drops off in the summer, and it heads back up around Christmas time. But notice that the slowest month of the year is January and February, and we're already beating production over last year substantially. In fact, the production as of yesterday, the 18th, exceeded the production for the entire month last February, and we have still 11 days to go in the month. So we're definitely kicking it up, and that means that we have to work more effectively, work more efficiently, use our space better, use our equipment better, maybe come up with some solutions to problems that are vexing us. Like again in Warren, they had no bed. Solution is get another bed. We have 10 rooms there. We're using 3 or 4 of them. So those are solutions we have to do, and really it's kind of up to you as the member of Allure to look at these problems and come up with solutions. You can't rely on me. You really can't even rely on your managers. You have to do yourself. We talked about the to-do, doing, done. I know more and more you have doing that, but I'm expecting everybody to be involved in order to manage the business. We can't grow the business on my back. It's not possible. I'm trying to get out of doing some of the surgeries and stuff. And we can't grow the business on my thoughts or visions alone. We need people to carry that out. And that's why I want to work on the to-do, doing, done. Now on Tuesday we talked about metrics we're going to do to try to increase production. So let's talk about 2 ends of the scale. On one side, we have new patients. On the other side, we have production. So we would imagine that if new patients go up, production should rise. Okay? But what can happen is that when we get an onslaught of new patients, production per new patient might drop off a little bit because we're feeling too busy, or we might even just focus on maybe the easiest sales. But the reality is that these numbers need to stay kind of in check. In fact, the production should continue to rise faster than new patients because hopefully you have existing patients. So a patient comes in for a Botox and filler, they hopefully would be a patient for life if we rebook them. If we don't rebook them, then we got to focus entirely on new patients. And depending on where you're at in the organization, a lot of your time is spent on servicing the new patients. On Tuesday we had something like 80 new patients in our organization, and that's a lot of work. And it's really a lot of wasted work if we don't put these new patients into production. We don't give them treatment. So if we have some new patient come in and they're asking us a bunch of questions about their veins, and we don't schedule a mapping, assuming they're a candidate, that was kind of a waste of time talking to them about it, having them use our room, getting them undressed, going over, having them watch our videos that we created, doing the meet and greet, giving them the gift that we give them, meeting the doctor. If we don't get them in the mapping, we wasted our time. It was a complete waste of time. Now sometimes it turns out the patient's not a candidate. I had one yesterday, it turns out it wasn't her veins, it was her arteries. We sent her somewhere else. That's fine. Those we're going to have those. But if the patient that's a candidate wants their veins treated and they are a candidate for it, then first step is getting them the mapping. Then we get to the mapping, did we get them into treatment? Okay? So unless we go down that algorithm, there was no reason to spend time bringing the patient in here, sending the liaisons to get referrals, doing the marketing, taking their phone call, doing the new patient experience with them, giving them a gift and the tour of the office. We just kind of wasted all that time. So if all we do is just pump more new patients in and we don't get production, then we've wasted a lot of time. And let's look at what drives the ability for you to get help, okay? So if you think, well, we're pretty busy, well then, if you're busy, it's a paradox, but you got to increase production, okay? So you're too busy. If you're too busy, what's the solution? It is increase in production. I'll tell you why. So increase production. So if you sense you're too busy, the solution might be to, maybe not convert the patients into a procedure. Well, actually, you're going to get busier, because then what I'm going to be forced to do is to drive more patients in the office, and you're going to be even more too busy doing nothing. But if you create production, this what allows us to create jobs. Okay, so production is what pays the salaries and the wages and the bonuses and the benefits and the meals and the memberships. The production drives that, not the new patients. The new patients are a very key metric to us growing our business, but it's only the production that allows us to grow our people, to grow our wages and benefits. So production. Now I asked you at the Tuesday meeting to start giving us some daily reports, and I've been getting them. Here's one from the cosmetic side. It showed that we had 11 new cosmetic patients that they recorded. I don't know if there's more than that or not. And of that, 9 people either scheduled a procedure or had same-day treatment. Looks like 2 patients did not get a written signed quote. We want to make sure we're getting a signed quote. Several of them got same-day treatment. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 patients got same-day treatment out of 11. That's pretty damn good. And that's the key. And the same-day treatment for cosmetic would be, getting Botox or filler or laser. And in some cases, in veins, it'd be getting a same-day mapping. And that's really a key metric, because the same-day treatment patients have the highest likelihood of turning into production, right? Because the same-day treatment for a cosmetic procedure is clearly production. And if you're doing it in veins, you get them into a mapping, it most likely will lead to production versus putting it off 2 weeks. That's where the alarm bell should ring, is that when we can't get people in right away. Now, somebody on the vein side created a Excel spreadsheet, and they gave me the outcome of consults. There was 7 consults. Some of them were no-shows. Some had cash insurance and they want to pay for it. That's okay. Somebody actually had some other disease. They weren't a candidate. Then of the mappings, we did 2 mappings, and one was scheduled for rescan, one was scheduled for treatment. So they identified the fact that they got everybody kind of accounted for. They also looked at cancels and no-shows. That's some place where we have a big opportunity. And patients rescheduled. They rescheduled 100% of their MFT follow-up. So everybody got rescheduled. They also converted 2 vein patients into dermatology. That's production, okay? And notice these sheets are vastly dissimilar. And I've gotten some from other people. Barb sent me one the other night. Amanda sent me one. And we're kind of right now at a point where it's sort of just trying to do it wrong quickly. So these are probably not what we're ultimately going to be doing, but they got started. So they took the project, and I really like this one here. It's written down, it's like patient's name, new patient or established patient, complaint, who's the medical assistant, who's the provider, was they have a signed quote, that's a key. Did they have same-day treatment, yes or no? Were they rebooked? Why not? Size of the sale, and did they convert to a department? In this case, again, out of the 11, derm, veins, derm. That's production, okay? This case was done a little bit differently. They went by the person and explained it. So I'm not sure what ultimate system we'll be using, but here's where ladies took the direction of this is what we're going to do, and they, without asking me how to do it, they created their own systems. Okay, they created their own systems, and this kind of made it happen. Okay, and then what I'm realizing now that we're becoming a multi-location business and a lot of employees, I mean, one time I knew everybody's name, I knew about their families, I knew the expenses in the business, I knew what we're paying for things. Really can't do that now, it's not possible. I'm relying on you to create these things. Because if we can harness the collective genius of our staff, we can grow more efficiently. So we have the list of what things we're going to track for revenue per new patient, and that's where the next driving force is. First driving force was working on getting more new patients. We did a lot of changes in the marketing department. We did changes with the call center, and it's happening. Right now our new patients are going to be well over 600 this month, and back when we started, say, altering our call center, that would have been a record month, and February is nowhere near record typically, so we'll be probably upwards of 1,000 patients by March. And unless we turn those patients into production, we're just kind of wasting our time. So as we get busier, you're going to have more constraints on yourself. You're going to have issues where it's just kind of busy, you don't have time to train, kind of busy, we don't have a place to put the patient, kind of busy, we don't have the equipment laid out. And this is going to take the collective power of our office to figure out how to solve these issues, because I can't solve it. A lot of the offices I'm not even going to, departments I can't get to. I'm in surgery half the day sometimes. So you need to specifically take your own unique situation, look at your own problems you're facing, and figure out how to solve them. Okay, how are you going to solve your own issues? If it's a matter of like we're just too many, let's say for example there's too many patients on a Thursday evening, maybe we should open another evening and split the staff up. Maybe we have too many consults coming in that are inhibiting with production. Maybe we need to change things around a little bit. But it's going to take the power of our staff to figure out these problems and come up with solutions. And just doing something as simple as this, of tracking everything, in this case here, 80% of the patients, new patients came in, turned into production. When that happens, if we did that across the board, where 80% of the new patients come in, turn into production, okay, you can hire whoever you want to. You can get however big of a team you need. Because right now we're actually at about 40% as a practice. So if we work on these tasks here, such as getting patients from new patients into production, in your head you might be thinking, we're just too busy. It's not too busy, we're too busy seeing new patients that we're not doing anything with. So for us to hire more people, we base it on a percentage of production. So we look at our expenses, and there's numerous expenses, well over $1 million a month. But really our non-provider wages have a fixed percent that we can pay. Our provider wages, we have a fixed percent we can pay. And then the other expenses are somewhat fixed, like the building. It's only going to cost us so much to rent the building, maybe a little more wear and tear on it if we're busier. The marketing, got a certain amount of dollars to spend on marketing. Heating and cooling the place. Doesn't really change, actually gets easier to heat when there's more people in here, because it's all the body heat. Those are pretty much fixed expenses, and these are variable expenses. So when production goes up, we can put more money into the pockets of the staff. And that's going to be either through bonuses that we're doing now. This morning we talked about how close we are to hitting super bonus. And that also might be through adding jobs to our community. And that's a good thing to do too. So new patients in production, we're driving the new patients, we're hitting records on the new patients. We're doing really good with the production. Some departments are kind of struggling. Last month we had 2 offices convert more than 90% of their consults into mappings. That's like, if you told people that happened, they wouldn't believe it, especially in the industry. People that don't measure new patients production think they're doing a great job. Once you actually measure it, you find out, man, maybe we're not doing so good. But then once you start deliberately measuring it all the time, this is what happens, okay? It gets better. What is measured is achieved. Otherwise, we're just thinking we're doing a great job, and maybe we're not. So the Friday Focus today is about trying to empower you to help us out to grow the business, make you understand that we're busy now. Let me bring my graph back. We're pretty busy now, but we're actually on a yearly scale back here. It's going to go this direction over the next few months. So the way you drive that is you work towards getting production, we expand our team, and we do a lot of training. Yeah, a lot of training. That's something we're going to do. We talked about at the beginning of the year, that's going to be a big focus for 2016. But we bring people on, you're obviously going to have to train them. So that's Friday Focus. Thank you very much, and good luck.